13. So, it's a final goodbye from the art department in lockdown. Guys, we thought about you a lot since school broke up, and I'm really glad that we've got the chance to say a final goodbye. So I apologise now, it's a little bit of a long one. It's been 7 years though for some of you, and who would have thought in September that it would all end like this? Now, I know that in your work, some of you, mentioning no names, have visited very dark places, but I want to encourage you to look at the positive side of what's happening at the moment and what's going to be happening in the future. So looking on the upside, if you've devoted lockdown time to getting a tan, then you are going to be turning up at university with a really good tan. If you've devoted lockdown time to fitness, you might start university with a really impressive six-pack. Or if you've done neither of these things and have maybe watched a lot of Netflix and eaten perhaps slightly more than you usually would, the great thing about that is that you are a creative student and your appearance is not the most interesting thing about you. What else is positive? Your lecturers, I feel, are going to be very sympathetic to your situation. They know that you haven't been in school for a long time and that you're going to need emotional and academic support perhaps more than students would usually do. That can only be a good thing. I think your teachers are going to and lecturers are going to be working very hard to support you, and they're probably right now devising some of the most impressive teaching resources that they have ever created, and you're going to be the beneficiaries of that. So that's a positive. If you're not going straight into halls of residence or shared accommodation because we're only in partial lockdown, then be reassured that this is going to financially be a really good thing for you, that you don't end up paying for a full 3 years worth of accommodation, which is going to cost you the best part of £30,000. So it's a money-saving enterprise as well. And the other thing I would say is when you start university after lockdown, you and everyone else is going to be really, really keen to meet new people and be more friendly than usual because they've been socially starved for the last few months. So I anticipate that you are going to have a really amazing social experience as well, and that you're going to make loads of new friends and meet loads of new people. Okay, now usually at this time you would have had an exhibition and we would have had an opportunity to show off your work, not just to you and us, but to your friends, your family, and to other teachers in the school. And I'm very sad that you haven't had the opportunity to do that, because I know that your year group would have had one of the most impressive exhibitions that we've ever had. Your work was stunning, and I know that you would have been really proud to show it off. So I'm very sorry that you haven't had that experience. The other thing we usually do at the exhibitions is hand out some awards, and various students will get awards for various things. So I'm going to let you know who would have had those awards. First of all, I've got to say Leilani has been commended for her submission for the United Learning exhibition, and David has been commended for his entry for the Young Photographer exhibition. So when we're back in school in September, you can both come and pick up an award for that. Okay, but Leilani also gets the Kindness Award. Staff and students have really appreciated Leilani just keeping an eye out for everyone. I genuinely felt she did this, and on a fairly regular basis, Leilani would just ask me, "You all right, miss?" And I can't tell you how much that meant. And I know that you were doing that for lots of people, and I know that you kept an eye out for students and that you took some under your wing as well. And this makes such a huge difference to students who are really struggling. So thank you for that, and it's much appreciated. I suppose the other thing I'd say about Leilani is that she's the most likely to look calm, but underneath is having a bit of a panic attack. Your to-do lists were actually quite terrifying. Holly, I would say that you get the Most Progress Made award. You started in Year 11 having never done art before, and I don't know if you can remember, but I have a memory of you covering your work because you didn't particularly want me or any other teacher looking at it. Think how far you've come. You didn't do that at the end of the year, and your work was stunning. I can't actually believe how much progress you made. Actually, in Year 30, literally in a year, and just pulled your grade up enormously in that time. Katie in photography, I would like to give you the Meaningful Work Award. Your work was really thought-provoking and it was highly personal, and just occasionally students' work opens my eyes to an experience, a side of life that I hadn't considered before, and Katie's work did that, and I think that will help other students who come into my classroom as well to understand what they might be going through and where they're coming from. Emma, you get the Smile Award for always managing a smile despite what I know were very difficult circumstances for you. And we could rely on you, Emma, even if you had a mountain of work to do, somehow or another, and I suspect it might have been by basically having a bit of a panic attack and maybe doing some all-night working sessions, you always got the work done. Tiago, you get the Colour Award. In your work and in your appearance, you always brought a splash of colour into the classroom, whether it was your hair, your clothes, or your photographs. But thank you for that. It definitely improved our lives. David, you get the Photography Award. David, I have been familiar with your work and been speaking to you since year 10, and you have always amazed me with how dedicated you are and how committed you are to your studies. And the only other thing is that I would say you ought to probably get the Nightmare Award for giving your teachers, most likely to give your teachers nightmares. Your work goes to some very dark places. Jacob gets the Film Award. No surprises there. Keep an eye out for this young man. I have a feeling he's going places. I wonder if your mum will get to star in any of your films, Jacob. Okay, so that's it. Those are the awards. So what I remember about year 13 is that you were a team like no other class that I've ever taught. Sloping into the dark room, or all coming in after break looking a little bit like you'd had a party. Full of smiles, really positive, just you had a lovely energy and it was infectious. So no matter what kind of a day I was having, I could pretty much rely on year 13, art and photography, to improve my day. And I'm not going too far to say that it's groups like yours that remind me why I love my job, and that actually you are one of the loveliest groups I've ever had the pleasure of teaching. I think you know I feel like this about you. You had a really special bond, and we will really miss you. I was really conscious, aware that some of you did not have the easiest time, and that getting the work done and getting as far as you have and finishing the course and sticking with it for some of you has been an enormous battle, and you can be so proud of what you've achieved. And genuinely, if you can get through that, I think you can work your way through whatever life has to throw at you, and I am really confident that you will be going places. Guys, you lot always move on. I do this every year, but you always move on. The only thing I would ask of you, if you wanted to, give a little bit back, would be that you keep in touch with us. It's lovely to hear from you. We do care, and know that you will always have a very warm welcome in the art and photography department from us all. And I'm sure I'm going to see you not long after we get back, when you will come in and collect your work as well. So I can't wait to see you then. Okay, it's been awesome, guys. I wish you all the very best. Thanks again. You've been amazing.